Hi, Henk Akmans here, Supply Chain Dynamics, Chapter 12, Collaborative KPIs, Sysdea Gameplay 6, Buyer Trust. The trust of the buyer in the supplier is modeled as a stock here. Stock starts off nicely at a high level of trust, 8, and then erodes and erodes, only to pick up again when a collaborative KPI regime is becoming active. There is a natural decay in trust, a sort of natural degradation as a result of personnel changes, but there can also be a growth in trust. And as you see, there's not a growth here, there's actually a small decline. Why is that? Well, trust changes as a result of, in this model, two factors. On the one hand, it's how good is this supplier? And there, the clue for the buyer comes from the IT quality. And on the other hand, how responsive, how hard do they try? So how good are they and how hard do they try? Both of them have a weight of 50%. And this, and of course you can play with those. But they deliver a change in trust, and you see after the collaborative KPI regime, both of them start to build up the performance starts to build up quickly, and also the responsiveness starts to build up. Responsiveness comes from over here, comes from the perceived performance and openness. It's around here, the buyer trust level in line with responsiveness, and you see that erodes in the months until it's really at a level of 4, only to pick up again after the collaborative KPI regime comes active. Why is that? Well, there is a eroding satisfaction of the buyer with the query handling, with how well that's being done, and that's basically a function of the ratio between the current query, the target lead time for query handling, and the target lead time. The current query handling lead time is a function of how big the backlog is, and also how much supplier capacity is available. As a result of this, that lead time starts to grow, and when it starts to grow, then the buyer satisfaction with query handling starts to drop, and so the buyer trusts the supplier less in terms of how responsive they are, and as a result of that, the buyer becomes less trustful of the supplier. But of course, all this changes when there is a collaborative KPI regime, and that's how buyer trust is generated. Oh, and where does buyer trust come in? We'll look at that later.